Hi, Gene here with today's thought. If you've been watching this vlog for a while, you know that I live in Tennessee, outside of Memphis. But before that, I lived in New York since 1977 until 2019, January 2019. And as you may also know, New York City is a very liberal city. So there I was, conservative in New York City, and if anybody would have asked me, why are you conservative, I would explain it in terms that they could understand, which would be that my first day in New York, I accidentally stepped off a subway platform and landed on my head. And that's why I'm a conservative. The reason I bring that up is because we'll be talking about John Fetterman today. Now, when he was running for a Senate, he came across to me as very, 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 very liberal. But then he had a stroke, and now you listen to him now, and it's a major sea change. And I wonder if the stroke is the equivalent of me stepping off of a subway platform in New York City and landing on my head, because he is very, I have to say reasonable, moderate. He's a kind of, when those of you who are especially young and you look at today's Democratic Party, John Fetterman that you're seeing now, that was the Democratic Party when I was growing up. They were they just differed with Republicans on certain issues, but I played you yesterday, the day before this video. It wouldn't be yesterday now. You're seeing this on Monday, so it'd be Friday. But I played you a video of JFK, John F. Kennedy, calling for tax cuts. He was also strong on defense and staunch anti-communist. That's why he was assassinated, because of his support. His support for bringing down Castro, his opposition to communism, to Fidel Castro, and all that. That's why, at least in my opinion, he was assassinated. And the Democratic Party, and you probably never heard of Henry Jackson, Scoop Jackson. He was a very liberal Democratic senator. I forget from which state. When I was young in the 60s, and he was, and before, and he was very strong on defense. Sam Nunn was which I never could understand, because Republicans will sometimes, and Democrats too, when they choose a Secretary of Defense, they'll choose somebody from the opposite party. And Sam Nunn, why he was never nominated to be a Secretary of Defense is beyond me. He would have been an excellent choice. I'm speaking as a conservative. He would have been an excellent choice for a Secretary of Defense. But you had a Congress of a Senate caucus and the House too, of Dan Rostenkowski. I could go on and on. But it was basically, on the Democratic side, it was a Congress, a House, and a Senate of John Fettermans. That's basically what it was. Maybe there were some socialists in there, some very, 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 very liberal people in there, but I honestly can't recall. I can't name a single one, and that is not the case today. And John Fetterman, as you may have read or heard, Donald Trump invited him to Mar-a-Lago, and John Fetterman is going, okay? He's the only Democrat I'm aware of, at least representative or senator, who is going to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Donald Trump. Maybe he'll vote for him someday. Maybe he'll switch parties, like others, like Tulsi Gabbard, for instance. Maybe he will, because he sounds to me closer to the Republicans than to the Democrats these days, to today's Republicans and today's Democrats. Anyway, he's going to Mar-a-Lago. He was questioned on that, which I should probably say criticized or attacked for that. And he was a very straightforward, very common sense answer, which was that I don't represent the Democratic Party, I represent Pennsylvania. Trump won Pennsylvania. I would be a fool. I have to talk to him. It would be disrespecting. I don't remember his exact words, but that's exact. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he's saying. He is not just the senator for Pennsylvania Democrats. He's the senator for all the people of Pennsylvania, and he owes it to them, or it would be disrespectful, or it would be a betrayal not to meet with the president-elect of the United States. So very, very reasonable person, and very what you would call your typical moderate Democrat, which you don't really see these days. You see fewer and fewer, and it's too bad. It's becoming the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez party and the Pramila Jayapal party and the Squad party, and it just the question is, could John Fetterman change the Democratic Party, bring them back to the brink, bring them back to the point where I could? Well, there's he's obviously a Republican, or he votes for Republicans. Art Laffer, economist, you may have heard of him, and very pro-Trump these days, very anti-Democrat, but he voted for Bill Clinton twice. And he said, why? Because he said Bill Clinton, opposite party, but he was he's an economist, and on the economy, Clinton was excellent. And I have to admit, too, we had a balanced budget one year. He was very liberal for his first 2 years, and then that caused him to lose Congress, to lose the House, and the Senate. But then he started, unlike Obama and Biden, or whoever is running the government while Biden is the figurehead president, fortunately not much longer, who just doubled down when they would lose, when they lost the House. And it's just, Clinton went the other way, and he and Art Laffer voted for him. And so I'm saying, maybe could the Democratic Party get to the point where I'm an independent, but I'm a conservative independent, and where I could see myself voting for him, depending on who the other candidate is? Could he, by the results, hopefully, that he will get, by his willingness, apparently, to work, well, I won't even say apparently, I would say obviously, to work with Republicans. He voted, well, not only did he vote for the Lake and Riley Act, to immediately deport unlawful aliens with a criminal record. So many Democrats voted against that. And he said, why would you not want to deport criminals? And it's because the liberals, they won't give an inch. The far left of the party, they will not even deport a murderer, a rapist. They won't, because they won't give up anything. They think if they give a tiny bit, that they lose everything, and they just won't. But Fetterman will, and he'll get better results. And could he influence the Democrats to move to where Clinton was? Because that's what they're going to need to do, I predict, unless you get a really, really, a Republican as bad as Joe Biden was. Because otherwise, I don't see them winning from the way they are now, at least presidential elections, and they didn't for a long time. It was, you talk about the blue wall, there was a red wall when I was younger for Democrats or against Democrats at the presidential level. They could win and hold the Senate and the House, but it was almost impossible. I could think of, Mondale, Eagleton. I could go all the way, Humphrey. Humphrey was probably what you would call a quintessential moderate Democrat, and he lost to Nixon. But it was until Clinton came, and it was called the Democratic Leadership Council, that he formed with Joe Lieberman, the late Joe Lieberman, and said, we're changing. We're not the far left. We're going to we're centrist. And that's how he got elected. His first 2 years, as I said, as soon as he got elected, he moved left. And 2 years later, he lost control of the House. Democrats lost control of the House for the first time since the 20s, 40 years or whatever, and he or longer, and he got sense, and he immediately moved to the center as he promised to do. He worked with Newt Gingrich, and they had a balanced budget. Clinton cut taxes, which harkens back to my subject of a couple of thoughts ago. Clinton cut taxes. He cut the capital gains tax, and we had a balanced budget for 1 year. Okay, so that's the real tragedy of the whole sex scandal. Monica Lewinsky, because he was working with Gingrich on healthcare, reforming healthcare in a way that would have, I predict, would have made healthcare better in this country, or the insuring or the provision of it. And unfortunately, that scandal just wiped it aside. But that's what they're going to need. They're going to need another Bill Clinton to move this party back to the center. And the question I posed in the title to this vlog was, could John Fetterman be that person? And as I also put in the title, spoiler alert, no, I don't think so. I think they are too far gone. And I welcome your comments if you want to disagree with me, or say either that they can move to the center or that the Democratic Party is exactly where it's supposed to be. But as far as whether they will move to the center, this video that the Democrats just put up will give you a better answer than I could.
Let me hear.
Okay.
Okay.
How's my tie? Is it okay? Is it on straight?
Here we go.
We're different.
Wisconsin.
Rhode Island.
Hawaii.
New York.
From the Great Lakes,
To the Mountain West.
the Pacific Northwest,
To the south.
and the Northeast.
coast to coast.
We have differences.
And some disagreements. But Senate Democrats are fiercely united on this.
We are not here because of who we are against.
We are here because of who we are for.
Every one of us
Was elected to fight for working Americans.
For American families.
For you.
For you.
For you.
We're here to make housing more affordable.
To help working Americans
keep more of their hard-earned paychecks.
To lower the cost of child care.
prescription drugs
And yes, groceries.
to help small businesses thrive.
And every child have a safe and great public education.
We are here to fight.
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 to fight for Americans.
We will work with anyone.
Anyone.
If they want to make life better for you.
But
If Donald Trump and Senate Republicans,
Do things to hurt you.
we will fight.
We will fight.
If they come after affordable health care.
If they pursue policies that drive up costs.
If they ignore the threat of climate change.
If they come after our troops and veterans' benefits,
If they take away access to reproductive rights. Attack our basic freedoms.
If they try to enrich their friends. If they pay for tax cuts for the wealthy by coming after your paycheck.
Your Social Security, your Medicare.
They will have to come through us.
through us.
Through us.
This is a new Congress.
It is a new day.
We are united.
Determined.
ready.
The 119th Congress has begun.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get to work.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get started.
Based on what I just showed you, I would have to say that if John Fetterman is going to move the Democratic Party to the center, or if anybody is going to move it to the center, whoever wants to move the Democratic Party to the center is really going to have his work cut out for him based on that video. And that's my thought for today. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that would really be great. Your comments always are welcome in the comments section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I would love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.